It's table talk as we welcome in Sal Licata and Jastremski. I don't know, was he talking about Geno Smith and Sam Darnold there? Sal, does Coach Saleh have a point about not giving up on Wilson just yet?
Yes, he does, Eamon. I personally don't think that we've seen enough of Zach Wilson. He referenced Daniel Jones. There's also been a coaching change for the better with the Giants as well. I don't think Zach Wilson, when we saw him, JJ, from start to finish here, has even been put in the position to succeed with the way the Jets had it set up with a rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, and obviously a rookie quarterback who was clearly overmatched. Now, has he shown much that gives you hope if you're a Jet fan in the 2 years that we've seen him? No, but it's 2 years, and it hasn't even been a complete year from start to finish. So I think Zach Wilson still has a shot if they stay the course and do the right thing by him moving forward to next year.
I've seen enough of Zach Wilson, and I think I've seen enough of Zach Wilson because of the predicament, Sal, that the Jets are in. That's the difference to me between what Daniel Jones walked into this year with the Giants as opposed to what Zach Wilson would walk into next year with the Jets. Nobody had any expectations for Daniel Jones and the Giants this year. Let's be honest. Most people thought this was going to be a gutted year for the Giants and Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen. He exceeds expectations. He's great. They're going to the playoffs. He's getting a contract. The Jets have to go to the playoffs next year. Robert Saleh has to go to the playoffs next year. If he doesn't, he's fired. End of story. I don't think the Jets can sell the fan base on another year of Robert Saleh. They're on the outside looking in. They need a quarterback who can hit the ground running now. Week 1 next year, I don't think it's Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I just don't think that you can properly evaluate Wilson from what we've seen in the 2 years here. It's always something. Now, whether that's on him for getting injured, whether it's on them for not putting him in the position to succeed, how do you draft a kid number 2 overall and not even give him 1 full year from start to finish?
That's how bad he's been,
decision?
Well, let's be fair. That's how bad he's been.
He hasn't been great. I would put the blame on the organization.
I mean, the problem is for if the people want to argue with you, if you look at the Patriots game and the Jaguars game, you say we played Mike White in those games, we probably win 2 out of 3 and have a better chance of making the playoffs. All right, SNY NFL insider Connor Hughes wrote on SNY.TV that regardless of what the Jets say publicly about Zach Wilson and Mike White, they'll likely be looking outside the organization like JJ said they should for next year's quarterback. All right, JJ, you want to look? Who should they be looking for?
It's an easy call for me. Broadway Jimmy Garoppolo. He looks the part. He'd be the darling in New York City, and he's won. That's the thing with Garoppolo. I know some people are going to knock him because of the success that Brock Purdy has had, and Sal, I get it. The Niners look to replace Jimmy Garoppolo with Trey Lance. There's no getting around that. But I know this about Jimmy Garoppolo. He led a team to a Super Bowl. Last year, his team was in the NFC title game. They win when he plays. I think with Saleh, knowing him well, LaFleur, knowing him well, they have experience and a comfort level from their days with the San Francisco 49ers. You don't have that question of being able to hit the ground running. He's going to know the offense. I want Garoppolo for the Jets.
I don't think Garoppolo makes the Jets that much better. Here's what I believe in. I believe in you have to stay the course with the franchise quarterback that you believe that you drafted number 2 overall. What's the best way to do that, but still put yourself in a position next year to compete from the start of the year to go make the playoffs? I think it's Matt Ryan. Yeah, because a lot of people will say that he's washed up. Those are people that, A, don't know what they're talking about, and B, I'm not talking about somebody who's going to be here for the next 2-3 years. I'm talking about 1 year, maybe half the season. Remember, JJ, Matt Ryan won an MVP in 2016 under what offense? Kyle Shanahan. Well, what offense does Mike LaFleur run? That same offense. Matt Ryan is the perfect mentor for Zach Wilson and the perfect quarterback for a stopgap guy for a half a season until Zach Wilson proves that he can get it. Then you hand the reins over to him. That's the way, to me, it's twofold. You have a veteran quarterback who knows how to win, will be a leader for that team, and you bring in your quarterback, you develop your quarterback that you drafted number 2
Better
overall.
shore up that offensive line if Matt Ryan's
Well, I think any quarterback, but you can't tell me that Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Matt Ryan, even at 37
At his
years
best this year? No, I'll take Garoppolo.
Well,
I think right now he's better.
Another name out there, Derek Carr. What do you think of Derek Carr as an option?
I said this before. Stidham went nuts. I think Carr is overrated. I would not want to pay Derek Carr anywhere near what he's getting. I'd rather go in a different direction if I'm the Jets.
I'm right there with you. Look at what Jarrett Stidham did last week, and Derek Carr is good enough to lose constantly throughout his career. He may put up some numbers. I know there are times he's going to tease you. The Raiders were always good enough to lose with Derek Carr. No thanks.
Derek Carr, Jimmy G, Matt Ryan. Can we get Fred Van Vliet in there somehow to make it a Honda Sports Night for all of us? All right, good stuff, fellas.